With every doctor's visit and every checkup, I am reminded of the intricate details of my family's adverse story. I can't help but to reflect on my maternal grandmother's very complicated life experiences as I check yes to a family history of high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and multiple strokes. You may have heard the phrase, when you heal for 7 generations before you and 7 generations after you. When we choose to do the healing work, we are healing for those in our ancestral lineage that came before us and those yet to come. Today, my own healing journey has led me to an intersection. I am nestled between ancestral cycles long overdue to be broken, while working to build a new legacy for my daughters and future generations. I have found that to move forward, we oftentimes must go back, and so, my story begins with my maternal grandmother, Rebecca Johnson. Born in the grassy fields of South Carolina in 1937, my grandmother bore the scars of a lifetime of unaddressed stress and trauma from many years of hardship. From losing her own mother at just 2 years old, being separated from her firstborn child after getting pregnant while unmarried and still in high school, to going on to mother an additional 7 children and having to care for them alone after a very messy divorce. My grandmother lived through a lot. Through it all, she was the matriarch of our family. She worked long, grueling hours just to make ends meet, usually barely getting by. As a mother myself, it's hard to fathom what her life must have felt like. I imagine that she felt tired and worn, and that her body kept whispering for her to pause, to prioritize herself better. But like many, she ignored those nudges and muscled through because that's what needed to be done to ensure the survival of her family. One day, at just 50 years old, her body forced her to slow down. My grandmother suffered a brain aneurysm suddenly, and her life would never be the same. Though she survived the aneurysm, she'd go on to live the remainder of her life as a shell of herself. Overnight, she went from being the caretaker to having to be cared for, an experience that often made her bitter and angry, especially towards those who loved her the most. Today, I am the founder of Move and Still, an organization that offers stress management and trauma recovery services to promote emotional well-being using somatic approaches to healing, including yoga, meditation, and breath work. Much of my work as a healer and guide is the result of my grandmother's legacy. Through my own healing journey and my work to educate others, I now understand that at the root of my grandmother's aneurysm was high blood pressure, and at the root of her high blood pressure was a lifetime of unresolved stress and trauma. My hope is that by holding space for others to heal and providing wellness education, more people will come to understand that our bodies keep the score. Every single memory, every stressful event gets stored in our cells and becomes a part of our history. My grandmother's story is a lesson. We shouldn't wait for life to knock us down to force us to listen. We can start the healing process and begin to shift the trajectory of our lineage just by breathing. Breath work, the simple act of conscious breathing, can heal us on a cellular level. In this way, the breath becomes our natural medicine with the ability to connect and heal the mind, body, and spirit. The journey begins with just one breath. Take a deep breath in and release.